Have you ever heard about someone passing away and found yourself reflecting on life in ways you hadn't before? Death has a way of shaking us, of making us pause, no matter how distant the person may have been to us. This morning, a 71-year-old man passed away. He wasn't a celebrity or a public figure, just an ordinary person who, like all of us, had a life full of stories, choices, regrets, and triumphs. And while his passing may not make the headlines, it holds lessons, important ones, about how we live our lives and what truly matters in the end. In this video, we're going to explore the profound truths that moments like this can teach us. From appreciating the time we have left, to rethinking the relationships we build, to learning what it means to truly leave behind a legacy. This is a conversation about life as much as it is about death. So, stay with me, because by the end of this, you might just look at your own journey in a new and meaningful way. What can we learn? There's something sobering about hearing the age 71. It's not old enough that we'd call it a long life, but not young enough that it feels like a tragedy either. It's that in-between space where we think, maybe he had more years left. And that's the first lesson we have to take in. Time is not guaranteed. Think about it. How often do we assume there's more time? More time to fix that broken relationship. More time to take that trip we've always dreamed of. More time to start exercising, to call an old friend, to say I love you to the people who matter. But then one day, time runs out. For this man, his time ran out this morning, and whatever dreams or plans he had will now remain unfinished. This is where we can learn. Instead of living as though life stretches endlessly ahead of us, we need to start living with an awareness of time's fragility. Not in a fearful way. This isn't about panic, but in a way that pushes us to prioritize what truly matters. Let me ask you, how often do you wake up in the morning and think, today is precious? Probably not as often as we should. Most of us get caught up in routines, in the endless lists of shoulds and must-dos. We rush from task to task, treating each day as though it's just one more in a long chain. But days aren't infinite. They're finite, and each one is a gift. This man who passed away this morning, what if yesterday he thought he had more time? What if he told himself, I'll call my daughter tomorrow, or I'll start writing that book next week? He didn't know yesterday would be his last full day on Earth. We don't know either. And while that thought can be unsettling, it's also incredibly freeing. It gives us permission to stop putting off what truly matters, living with intentionality. So, what can we do with this lesson? It starts with intentionality. Intentionality is about waking up each day and asking yourself, what is truly important today? Who do I need to spend time with? What do I need to say to someone before it's too late? It's not about being perfect, and it's not about squeezing every moment dry. It's about being mindful. When we recognize the finite nature of time, we can stop wasting it on things that don't bring us joy or fulfillment. For example, how much time do we spend worrying about things that, in the grand scheme of life, don't really matter? A rude comment someone made, a minor inconvenience at work, the small, day-to-day irritations that pile up and steal our energy. What if we let those go and instead focused on the moments that make life beautiful? The gift of awareness, one of the gifts of reflecting on someone's passing, is that it brings awareness. It reminds us that every single moment we get to breathe, to feel the sun on our skin, to share a laugh with someone we love, that's a moment worth cherishing. I want you to think about your own life right now. If today were your last day, and I know that's not an easy thought, what would you do differently? Would you call someone you haven't spoken to in years? Would you let go of an old grudge? Would you take a walk and really feel the ground beneath your feet? The lesson here isn't about fear. It's about gratitude. Gratitude for the time we have, for the opportunities in front of us, for the people who are still here with us. A small change you can make today, so here's a small change you can start making today. At the end of each day, reflect on how you spend your time. Ask yourself, did I focus on what really mattered? Did I treat this day as the gift that it was? It's not about being hard on yourself. It's about learning, about growing, and about making the most of the time we have left. This reflection is just the beginning. The lessons from this man's passing go deeper. And in the next section, we're going to explore the relationships we leave behind and the power of connection. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about how we live our lives. It's about the impact we have on others. What can we learn? Reflection 2. The relationships we leave behind when someone passes away, one of the most immediate and lasting impacts is felt by the people they leave behind. Family, friends, acquaintances. All these individuals are left to grapple with the void, the memories, and the unanswered questions. And that brings us to the second profound lesson we can learn from the passing of this 71-year-old man. The relationships we cultivate during our lifetime are our true legacy. Think about it. When the final chapter of our story is written, it won't be the cars we drove, the houses we lived in, or the money we earned that people remember. It will be how we made them feel. It will be the ways we showed up for them, the conversations we had, and the love we gave. But here's the thing, we often take these relationships for granted. We assume our loved ones know how much we care. We assume there will always be more time to mend a fractured connection or to express gratitude. The reality is we don't know how much time we have, and when someone is gone, those missed opportunities can feel like a heavy weight. The power of connection, let's talk about connection. Humans are wired for it. From the moment we're born, we seek comfort, warmth, and understanding from others. And yet, as we grow older, life often pulls us in different directions. Work demands our attention. Personal goals take precedence. And sometimes, pride or fear keeps us from reaching out to the people we care about most. This 71-year-old man who passed away, what kind of relationships did he leave behind? Were there people who felt his absence deeply because he made them feel seen and valued? Or were there strained connections that never had the chance to heal? We can't know his specific story, but we can use it as a mirror for our own lives. How strong are the connections we're building right now? Are there relationships we've let drift apart because we've been too busy, too distracted, or too afraid to confront the issues at hand? Repairing fractured relationships, one of the hardest yet most rewarding things we can do is repair fractured relationships. Whether it's with a child we've grown distant from, a sibling we've had a falling out with, or a friend we've lost touch with, taking the first step toward reconciliation is a powerful act of love. But it's not easy, is it? It requires humility, vulnerability, and courage. It means setting aside our ego and acknowledging our own role in the distance that's grown between us. It also means being prepared for the possibility that the other person might not be ready to meet us halfway. So why do it? Because the alternative, leaving those relationships unresolved, can lead to deep regret. Imagine standing at the end of your life, looking back, and realizing that some of the people who mattered most to you are no longer part of your story. That thought alone should be enough to inspire us to take action. Small steps toward connection, rebuilding a relationship, doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Sometimes, it's as simple as picking up the phone and saying, "I've been thinking about you," or writing a letter to express what's in your heart, or inviting someone to have a cup of coffee and catch up. The point is to take the first step, because once you do, you'll often find that the other person has been waiting for that moment just as much as you have. The ripple effect of love, when we invest in our relationships, the ripple effect is profound. Not only do we enrich our own lives, but we also impact the lives of others in ways we may never fully understand. A kind word, a listening ear, a moment of genuine connection. These are the things that stick with people long after we're gone. This man who passed away this morning, he likely touched the lives of many people in ways he never realized. A neighbor who appreciated his smile, a grandchild who will remember his stories, a friend who felt comforted by his presence during a tough time. What kind of ripple effect are you creating in your own life? Are you leaving behind a legacy of love, understanding, and connection? Shifting our priorities to truly honor the relationships in our lives, we need to shift our priorities. It's not about having the most friends or being popular. It's about quality over quantity. It's about focusing on the people who truly matter, the ones who uplift us, challenge us, and make us better versions of ourselves. Take a moment to think about the people in your life right now. Who are the individuals you couldn't imagine living without? When was the last time you told them how much they mean to you? If it's been a while, Let this reflection serve as a gentle nudge. Because when we're gone, the memories we leave behind with these people will be what keeps us alive in their hearts. One of the greatest gifts we can give to the people we care about is our time and attention. In a world that's constantly pulling us in different directions, taking the time to truly be present with someone is a rare and valuable act. It's not about grand gestures. It's about the little moments, sharing a laugh, offering a word of encouragement, or simply sitting together in comfortable silence. These are the moments that build connection, that strengthen bonds, and that leave a lasting impression. As we reflect on this 71-year-old man's passing, let's use it as an opportunity to evaluate our own relationships. Are we nurturing the connections that matter most? Are we expressing our love and gratitude while we still have the chance? In the next section, we'll explore another vital lesson we can learn from his life: the importance of finding purpose and meaning, even in the later stages of life. Because while relationships are a cornerstone of a meaningful life, our sense of purpose is what drives us to keep growing, contributing, and leaving a mark on the world. What can we learn? Reflection 3. The importance of purpose in every stage of life. As we move deeper into reflecting on the passing of this 71-year-old man, we arrive at an often overlooked but profoundly important aspect of life: purpose. If relationships are the heart of our existence, then purpose is the pulse that keeps it beating. The man who passed away this morning may have had a purpose that drove him every day, or perhaps he lost sight of it as time went on. Either way, his story gives us the chance to consider what role purpose plays in our own lives, especially as we grow older. What does purpose mean in later life? When we think about purpose, our minds often jump to grand, ambitious goals. Building a business, changing the world, or leaving behind some monumental legacy. And while those are valid interpretations, purpose doesn't always have to be so grandiose. Sometimes, purpose is simply about the small, meaningful contributions we make each day. For many, purpose shifts as we age. In our youth, it might have been about building a career, raising a family, or achieving personal milestones. But as the years go by, those initial goals are often fulfilled, or circumstances change, leaving us searching for something new to drive us forward. That search for purpose can feel daunting, especially after retirement or significant life changes. But here's the thing: purpose is adaptable. It doesn't have to remain fixed throughout your life. It evolves just as you do. And recognizing that is the first step toward embracing the power of purpose at any age. The quiet despair of losing purpose. One of the greatest challenges many people face in later life is the feeling of purposelessness. The children have grown up and moved away. The career that once defined you is over. The busy days of juggling responsibilities are replaced by quieter moments of reflection, and sometimes loneliness. For some, this transition is liberating. It's a chance to finally focus on personal passions and pursuits. For others, it feels like a loss of identity. Who am I now that I'm no longer needed in the same way I once was? This internal struggle can lead to a sense of quiet despair, a feeling that life has lost its meaning. And yet, even in the face of this challenge, there is an opportunity to rediscover purpose, one that is uniquely suited to this stage of life. The ripple effect of purpose. Let's take a moment to imagine the life of the man who passed away this morning. Perhaps he found purpose in mentoring others, sharing his wisdom and experiences with younger generations. Maybe his purpose was rooted in caring for his family, offering guidance and support whenever it was needed. Or perhaps his purpose was more personal, pursuing hobbies, traveling, or simply finding joy in the everyday moments. Whatever his purpose was, it undoubtedly left an impact on those around him. Because that's the beauty of purpose. It creates a ripple effect. When we live with intention and meaning, it inspires others to do the same. Think about your own life. What are the small ways you're contributing to the world around you? It could be as simple as offering a kind word to a stranger, volunteering your time, or being a source of strength for a loved one. These acts may seem small, but their impact is immeasurable. Redefining success and purpose. As we reflect on the role of purpose, It's important to recognize that traditional notions of success don't always align with what truly matters. Society often equates success with wealth, power, or prestige. But as we grow older, we come to understand that these external markers mean little if they're not accompanied by inner fulfillment. The man who passed away this morning may or may not have been conventionally successful, but his true legacy lies in how he lived his life. Did he find joy in the little things? Did he cherish the relationships that mattered most? Did he make a difference, no matter how small, in the lives of others? These are the questions we should be asking ourselves, too. Because at the end of the day, purpose isn't about achieving perfection or meeting society's expectations. It's about finding meaning in the things that bring us joy, fulfillment, and connection. Finding purpose in solitude, one of the most surprising and transformative aspects of purpose, is how often it can be found in solitude. In a world that values constant activity and external validation, the idea of finding purpose in quiet reflection might seem counterintuitive. But solitude offers a unique opportunity to reconnect with yourself and discover what truly matters. The man who passed away this morning might have found purpose in moments of solitude, walking through nature, journaling his thoughts, or simply sitting in silence and reflecting on the life he'd lived. These quiet moments are where clarity often emerges, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of our own purpose. The role of gratitude in purpose. Another key aspect of purpose is gratitude. When we take the time to appreciate the blessings in our lives, it shifts our perspective. Gratitude reminds us of the abundance we already have, rather than focusing on what's missing. As we reflect on the life of the man who passed away, let's consider the ways in which gratitude might have shaped his purpose. Did he wake up each morning with a sense of appreciation for the new day? Did he find joy in the simple pleasures of life? A warm cup of coffee, a beautiful sunset, or the laughter of loved ones? Gratitude and purpose go hand in hand. When we approach life with a grateful heart, it becomes easier to see the opportunities for meaning and connection that surround us. A call to action. The passing of this 71-year-old man is a reminder that life is both precious and fleeting. It challenges us to reflect on our own lives and consider how we're living each day. Are we embracing our purpose, no matter how big or small it may seem? Are we nurturing the relationships that matter most? Are we finding joy and meaning in the present moment? These are not easy questions to answer, but they are essential ones. Because when the time comes for our own story to end, it's these reflections that will define the legacy we leave behind. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into the transformative power of embracing life's impermanence and how it can inspire us to live more fully and intentionally. The legacy of impermanence. Embracing life's fleeting nature, let's return to that poignant image of the 71-year-old man. A single moment that encapsulates both the fragility and the profound beauty of life. His passing reminds us of something most of us avoid thinking about. Life is finite. It is a truth we all know deep down, but often push aside, caught up in the distractions of daily life. Yet, if we pause for a moment and let that truth settle, we might find something remarkable. Not fear, but clarity. What does it mean to truly live, knowing that our time is limited? How does the awareness of impermanence shape the choices we make, the relationships we cherish, and the dreams we pursue? These are the questions that hover in the background of every life, questions that grow louder as the years pass. And they bring us to a profound realization. The fleeting nature of life is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Letting go of the myth of forever. One of the biggest illusions we carry is the idea that we have forever. Forever to make amends. Forever to chase our dreams. Forever to say, I love you. It's comforting, isn't it? To believe that time is infinite and that we can postpone the things that truly matter because there will always be another tomorrow. But the truth is, there's no guarantee of tomorrow. The man who passed away this morning likely had plans, hopes, maybe even regrets he thought he'd have time to address. And just like that, the opportunity was gone. Now, this isn't a call to live in panic, constantly looking over our shoulders at the ticking clock. No, This is an invitation to live intentionally, to recognize that each moment we're given is a gift, and each day is an opportunity to live in alignment with what matters most. The freedom of acceptance, there's a strange kind of freedom that comes with accepting the impermanence of life. When we stop clinging to the idea of forever, we begin to appreciate the present in a way we never have before. We stop waiting for the perfect moment to do the things we've been putting off, and we start making the most of the moment we're in. For the man who passed away this morning, perhaps his final days were filled with an awareness of this truth. Maybe he savored the little things, a shared laugh with a friend, the feel of sunlight on his face, the satisfaction of a life well lived. Or maybe he was weighed down by regrets, wishing he'd embraced this awareness sooner.